Have you ever noticed this? Many of the most important figures in art history were a little strange, a little unsettling. Some of them could even be described as mad. So were they truly insane, or were they geniuses? Yes, they were undeniably fascinating and creative. But these stories are not rumors. They are documented facts. Some received treatment, some spent time in psychiatric institutions, and some ended their own lives. Behind the artworks we admire today, there was often not a calm and balanced mind, but a chaos struggling to stay under control. And no, there is no need to romanticize this, because the truth is already disturbing. Enough it makes sense to begin with Salvador. Dalí. Dalí was one of the rare artists who did not deny his psychological disturbances but consciously used them. The paranoiac critical method he developed deliberately blurred the line between reality and delusion. Dalí was not clinically psychotic in the strict sense, but he displayed narcissistic, obsessive, and paranoid patterns of thought. Being able to control his mind did not mean his mind was healthy. It only meant that he managed to turn this disorder into art. The persistence of memory suggests that time is neither stable nor reliable. The melting clocks show reality dissolving and slipping out of control for Dalí. The face of war reveals that trauma is not limited to a single. The faces within faces suggest fear multiplying endlessly within the mind. Soft. Construction with boiled beans depicts not war itself, but the fragmentation war creates inside the human psyche. When we turn to Van Gogh, the situation becomes much heavier. Van Gogh was not a romantic mad genius. He lived with severe and well-documented psychological disorders. He suffered from deep depression, extreme mood swings, psychotic episodes. He spent part of his life in psychiatric hospitals. Prisoners exercising. Also known as the prisoner's round, depicts an inescapable cycle. The figures walk in repetitive circles, symbolizing mental confinement and obsessive thought. There is no exit from the circle, reflecting Van Gogh's own sense of being trapped inside his mind. Wheat Field with Crows carries an intense sense of threat, with its directionless path and darkened sky. This is not a landscape. It is Van Gogh's emotional state. The sky presses down, the road offers no escape, and the black crows intensify the feeling of unease and impending danger. The painting leaves behind the sense of an approaching end. With Picasso, the problem takes a different form. Picasso's issue was not severe psychosis, but a pathological personality structure. Many biographies describe him as narcissistic, emotionally detached, and psychologically destructive, particularly toward women. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon represents the fragmentation of the human body. The figures are aggressive and deeply unsettling. Weeping Woman presents pain in a cold and divided form. The face is fractured. Emotion is impossible to regulate. And tears offer no relief, they suffocate instead. And now, we come to one of the clearest examples. Wain was an artist who became obsessed with drawing cats. And this obsession was directly linked to personal trauma. When his wife fell seriously ill shortly after they married, Wain began drawing cats to comfort her. They became a way for her to cling to life. After her death, these cats gradually lost their innocence. Their faces hardened, their eyes became fixed, and the patterns grew increasingly hallucinatory. As Wain's schizophrenia progressed, his perception of reality collapsed. He no longer saw the world as orderly, but as fragmented and threatening. The cats no longer represented the external world. They became mirrors of the chaos inside his mind. Late. Abstract cat drawings show the point at which the cat ceases to be recognizable. Faces are symmetrical, yet lifeless, with frozen, vacant eyes. Kaleidoscopic cat composition represents the complete dissolution of reality. The cat's body breaks apart into geometric patterns, leaving behind not an animal, but a visual record of a schizophrenic mind. In 1922, a German psychiatrist and art historian named Hans Prinzhorn published a groundbreaking study that permanently changed how we understand the relationship between art and mental illness. He examined over 6,000 works created by 450 psychiatric patients from hospitals across Germany. treating them not as meaningless scribbles, but as direct expressions of the inner mind. This collection revealed a field that modern art had long ignored. One of the most striking figures in Prinzhorn's book was August Natterer. Natterer claimed that during an intense hallucination lasting about 30 minutes, he saw thousands of images simultaneously. After this episode, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia and spent the rest of his life in psychiatric institutions. What set him apart was his attempt to systematically draw what he had seen. These drawings were not random. They depicted a distorted yet coherent inner reality. This raises a difficult question. If a mind believes what it sees, is recording it art or merely a document of illness? Prinzhorn's work clarified one crucial truth. Some artworks are born not from aesthetic choice, but from psychological necessity. These individuals did not choose to make art. Their minds demanded it. For some, drawing was the last thread keeping them connected to reality. For others, it was the only way to release the chaos within. This is why great art is rarely rooted in peace, but in ongoing conflict. That conflict is not with the outside world, but with the artist's own mind. Isolation, misunderstanding, loss of control, and inner tension form the unseen foundation of many great works. And instead of romanticizing these figures as mad geniuses, we should accept one uncomfortable truth. Great art often demands a price, and that price is often paid with the artist's mind.
Well,
You learned to do it quite well.
yes.